All right, today we are unpacking a really challenging and frankly pretty provocative perspective on narcissistic abuse. The source material we're looking at makes this powerful claim that the destructive behaviors we see, they're not just character flaws. No, they're actually evidence of genuine malicious intent. So, let's get right into it.
So the source material kicks things off with this quote, and it really sets the stage. I look around and it kind of feels like everybody's lulled into a false sense of security. The whole argument, really, is framed as a wake-up call. It's challenging us to stop downplaying what it describes as a very calculated, very deeply damaging process.
Okay, so first up, a false sense of security. Let's break down exactly what the source means by that. First things first, the source wants to draw a really crucial distinction here. We're not just talking about someone who's, a bit vain or self-centered. There's a really hard line between someone who's maybe just arrogant and someone whose actions, according to the source, are driven by a fundamentally different and, much more sinister goal.
And this right here is the core shift in perspective. The argument is that these destructive behaviors, they're not just accidental flaws. They're described as deliberate, functional tools that are used to achieve a very specific outcome. It's a system, you see, not just a series of random mistakes.
Okay, so that brings us to the core of the argument, the 3 proofs of malice.
The whole case is really built on these 3 pillars. We're going to walk through each one step by step to see exactly how the source constructs its case for deliberate, intentional harm.
So, proof number 1, the demand for submission. The source argues that behind all that confusing, chaotic behavior, there's actually one simple goal: to make you give up. It's not about winning an argument. It's a targeted, deliberate attack on your will, on your confidence, and on your self-esteem. All of it is designed to just force your submission.
Now, the second proof is explained with this really, really powerful metaphor: mental colonization. And this isn't just about, simple influence. The source describes it as a full-scale invasion of your mind, a deliberate brainwashing to get you to think and act exactly how they need you to. So how do they do it? How is this invasion accomplished? Well, it can be a 2-pronged attack. Sometimes, it's aggressive, outright intimidation. But other times, it's incredibly subtle, using flattery and manipulation. The source uses this great phrase saying they'll pour honey into your ears. They'll tell you exactly what you want to hear, all to get you to lower your defenses so they can move right in.
And the result of this mental colonization? Well, it's this profound, agonizing confusion. You find yourself lying awake at night, just asking these questions over and over again, completely unable to trust your own memory of what even happened. And you have to understand, this confusion isn't some accidental side effect. It is the goal. By making you constantly second-guess everything, you start to distrust your own perceptions. You're replaying conversations in your head, searching for hidden meanings, and you just can't find any solid ground.
And eventually, that constant questioning leads right here, to this moment. The self-doubt gets so overwhelming that you start to wonder, well, maybe they're right. And this is the point where, in the source's words, your mind becomes soft and pliable and completely ready to be controlled.
The source uses this absolutely chilling analogy for the long-term damage. It says this mental colonization is like a software virus. Once it's installed, it just keeps running in the background, tearing you apart from the inside, even long, long after the person is gone.
All right, the third proof. This one is an absolute statement, and it really challenges that common hope people have for change. The source argues that any act that even looks like kindness is nothing more than a strategic illusion. As it says, they are never kind. Not once. They never take a day off from the function.
So if it's not real kindness, then what is it? Well, according to the source, it's always one of 2 things. It's either posturing, basically a PR move to manage the reputation and get you to lower your guard. Or, and this is the really sinister part, it's a tactic to soften you up, to lure you into a false sense of security right before the next attack.
So, all of this builds up to the source's most direct and I think most provocative assertion, the case for calling it evil.
And the source really doesn't shy away from that word, does it? It confronts the question head-on. A question that, let's be honest, a lot of people feel hesitant or maybe even forbidden to ask. And the answer provides is immediate, it's unambiguous, it's just yes.
The argument here is pretty simple. Stop wringing your hands. Stop making excuses. The source is basically urging everyone to drop the moral relativism and just make a firm judgment based on the destructive actions themselves.
And this really lays out the core conflict perfectly. On one side, you've got the standard therapeutic view. Don't judge. Try to understand their trauma. But on the other side, you have what the source calls the survival view, and it's adamant about this. When you're in this situation, the argument is that the therapeutic lens isn't just unhelpful, it's actually dangerous.
So, if the problem is really this severe, what's the solution? Where do you go from here? Well, the source proposes what it calls your last line of defense, and it's something everyone already possesses.
And here it is. The crucial point is that your own capacity to judge, your simple, innate ability to say, this is good behavior and that is bad behavior, is presented as your most powerful, your only line of defense. According to the source, it is the only thing that can truly save you.
And believe me, the stakes cannot be higher. This isn't some theoretical debate about words. The OWL source is absolutely adamant that getting this wrong, staying in that morally relativistic fog, will literally cost you years of your life. It's framed as a matter of personal survival.
And that brings us to the final and really stark message of this material. Nobody's coming to save you. It's a call for radical self-reliance. That capacity to judge, to name what you are seeing for what it is, and then to act on that judgment, well, that's up to you. It's a really provocative final thought, isn't it, on where the ultimate responsibility for your own protection really lies?